Since it is your intention to enter into the covenant of holy matrimony, join your right hands and declare your consent before God and His church. This is their first That's perfect. Okay. Did you guys memorize your process? Just repeat with me. And the right one first. And so I, Benjamin, take you, Diana, my wife. I promise to be faithful to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love you and to honor you all the days of my life. I, Diana, take you, Benjamin, to be my husband. I promise to be faithful to you in good times and in bad, in sickness and in health, to love you and to honor you all the days of my life. May the Lord in His kindness strengthen the consent you have declared before the church and graciously bring to fulfillment His blessing within you. And what God joins together, let no one put asunder. Thus bless the Lord. Thanks be to God. That means it's really to repent of this and so either very nails and pray. It's awesome. We now have the giving of the rings. Bless these rings which you will give to each other as a sign of love and fidelity. So Benjamin first, Diana, receive this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Benjamin, receive this ring as a sign of my love and fidelity. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. So Diana, receive these vows as a pledge of God's blessing and a sign of the good gifts we will share. Benjamin, receive these vows as a pledge of God's blessing and a sign of the good gifts we will share. So bless, O Lord, this also a symbol of the insoluble union that Benjamin and Diana have established from this day forward before you and with your help.
First of all, I want to thank God for this day that this couple, giving us, and on behalf of my wife as well, I want to thank God for my daughter that she finally believed in love. She was almost right at the end of his teenage, and she said, I'll never get married. And I know, because my wife and I have struggled, it's marriage is not easy. But I'm glad that she believed in love. And as I watch him growing, giving up, sacrificing each other for make the other one happy, I knew that they would come. So when Ben asked me to for a lunch, I knew it was the day. So I want to thank God for all of it. Thank you for being with us, sharing this special moment with them. And also, I'm not intent, but they have been on Albana, and I'm sure they have been on bands as well. I don't intend to be his parents, but on behalf also on Miss Shauna, and David. Thank you for being here with them. And as I thank him for Ben, and as I welcome him into our family, I want to give him a hug, and I want you to remember your parents that are away from you, and I know they're wishing you the best also. Welcome to the family. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to keep on talking, which, people are used to. So I've written a short speech for today, but I've chosen to write it in Diana's first language, which is Spanish. So I'm really hoping, Mum, that you kept up your promise to do your Spanish lessons. Said you got the Rosetta Stone subscription, so it's going to be embarrassing for you if you haven't. Primero, me gustaría agradecer a todos por asistir hoy. Si está en la computadora o aquí con nosotros, estamos muy felices de que pueda venir. Los advertir a todos, mi español no es tan bueno como mi inglés. No sé si eso es una sorpresa. El discurso de hoy trata sobre el número 4674. ¿Podrían ser los 4674 platos que Diana puso en el fregadero? ¿O la cantidad de veces que he dejado el asiento de inodoro levantado? ¿Podrían ser las 4674 horas que Diana ha dedicado a su carrera? Ella se ha convertido en una maestra increíble y estoy muy orgulloso. ¿Podrían ser 4674 juegos de Connect 4? Diana ha ganado por la cantidad de cosas que me ha dado en lugar de perder. ¿Podría ser la cantidad de tacos que comimos cuando pensamos que seríamos personas de muertes de tacos? Incluso pensar en torchis pero nos enferma. ¿Podría ser cuánto luchamos por el amor y la atención de Sebi y la cantidad de pequeños besos familiares que hacemos? También podría ser la cantidad de pelos de Sebi en nuestra ropa. Podría seguir enumerando todos los momentos increíbles que compartimos todos los días, desde ser tantos con los trabajos en la casa hasta las divertidas y emocionantes. My Spanish is great, guys.
It's better than your English.
There, you can take the Cornishman out of Cornwall, but you can't put it in Spain. Aventuras que tenemos juntos. Diana, quiero darte las gracias por cada momento que me ha llevado hoy. Me siento increíblemente afortunado de poder compartir el resto de mi vida contigo y sé que cada momento será mucho mejor porque podré pasarlos. No puedo expresar con no can't express in Spanish much. No puedo expresar con palabras los emocionado que soy por el siguiente paso en nuestro viaje juntos. Pero sé que será increíble. Eso me lleva al final de mi discurso. Mi interesa. Now, if you're Spanish speaking, I'm going to reveal what that number's all about. Don't tell anyone who speaks English, because obviously I've got more of a speech, so I am doing this in English as well. Mi discurso. Mi interesa si alguien oh my goodness, right, what's that say? Averiguo. Yeah, that sounds right. Averiguo de 4,674. La razón por la que 4,674 es un número importante y el punto de este discurso es porque es el número de millas desde mi puerta principal, Cornwall, hasta el lugar exacto en el que me encontraba cuando vi a Diana en nuestra prima cita. No hay un número más importante en mi vida y es un viaje que ha cambiado mi vida de la mejor posible. I missed a word. I can't read my own handwriting. Gracias a todos por escuchar. And now, so that I can make your food get even colder, I'm going to say in English. So I'd like to start, first of all, by giving everyone here and everyone who is watching online, because it is like 1 o'clock in the morning in England, just start by saying a massive thank you for being here with us today. I mean, we've had to shrink the guesses down. Everyone here is the most important people to me and Dan, the people that we would want to be here with us for our wedding day. I would also extend a massive thank you to the bridesmaids and to the groomsmen who've worked. It's been a real hands-on-deck wedding. Everyone has taken on like every job, like we've had a driver. I think we had like a gardener at one point. Lost track. And especially to Sam, James, Josh and Jack, who kind of took on the best manly roles. Josh and Jack leading everything from the UK, getting all the guys together for a virtual stag, but also Sam and James, who've been working really hard with everyone here to make sure that we could have a stag here, and when that still couldn't happen, still getting us together so that they could ruin my entire week last week while I was hungover. Card number 2. I put together a speech for today, and it's all about the number 4,674. So you can have a little think about what that number might be, and what the significance of that number might be. If you're Spanish speaking, I know you know it, just keep it secret. With the exception of pride, there's no pride to begin the answer. There's a reason why I've really got to specifically read this off the cards. What I'm saying now is also on the cards. This speech could be about the 4,674 dishes that have been left in the sink in our apartment. Or the 4,674 times that I've told Diana that yes, of course, I have lint rolled my clothes before putting them in the laundry. It could be the 4,674 hours that Diana poured into her degree over the past 4 years. And she's become an amazing teacher that she is today. And it could be the 4,674 times that we've been to Target since to decorate her classroom. It is also way too small of a number to be the number of times I've just felt immense pride for how much she's worked and how hard she's worked to become the teacher that she is today. It could be the 4,674 trips that we made to each other's apartments to see each other. Or the 4,674 good mornings and good nights. Don't calculate how many days there are in 4 years, okay? We know you're smart. it's not going to be 4,674. It could be the 4,674 games of Connect 4 that Diana's beat me at in a row. Or the amount of things that she's thrown at me when she's lost any other game. It might be the number of things that we've watched on Netflix in lockdown. It could also be the amount that we try to outdo each other for Sevi's love, or the amount of little family walks that we go on. It could be the number of hairs we pick up our clothes daily. Don't get a spaniel if you like your clothes. It could also be the seconds between getting the engagement rings and how quickly I proposed. My eagerness to propose greatly outweighed the careful planning that I'd done for months for an engagement day. So if you can imagine me, I know I'm dressed quite nice today, in quite badly fitting grey tracksuit trousers, proposing to Diana while she's in the wardrobe picking clothes for work the next day. Basically Shakespearean. It could also be the amount of chips and tacos we ate when we thought we were Taco Tuesday people. Yeah, we hate torches now. Or it could also be the amount of times that Diana's eyes have lit up at the sheer mention that we might go to Ooh La La to get a bit of cake. I could keep listing all the amazing moments that me and Diana have shared every day, from being silly with chores to unbelievably fun and exciting adventures together. Diana, I want to thank you for every single moment that has led to today. I feel honoured to be sharing the rest of my life with you, and I know that every moment will be better for being able to share them with you. I can't put into words how excited I am, Spanish and English, but you know, move on, to be sharing our journey together, but I know it will be amazing. So that brings me to the final part of my speech. I don't know if you would have guessed what the significance of the number 4,674 was. And yes, it's not the number of days in 4 years. The reason why 4,674 is such an important number, and the most important number in my life, is because it's the amount of miles from my front door in Cornwall to where I saw Diana for the first time. And there's no number more important to me in my life, and it was the first step in the rest of my incredible journey. But there is a mic drop moment in this speech, and I have been boasting, because in English, this speech was exactly 4,674 characters in length. All right, so our next speech is going to be from the best men. They're very handsome, they're tall, black, and they even made it to the wedding. So Josh and Jack, two brothers I went to university with. They couldn't be here today, obviously, because of COVID, but they pre-recorded their speech. Now, I'm not going to say which brother likes me more, but one did do 1 minute and one did 6. So, I'm going to play them through the speaker. I might have to fiddle with the volume once we get started.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Ben and Diana Brown's wedding day. Woo! Call for applause. Okay, here we are. I'm good, I can't be there with you all, but I can't even go to see my brother, the second best man at the moment, so instead of even just recording a joint speech, I'm just having to sit at home in my PJs, talking into my phone, but you know, there we are. 2020's been weird and a difficult year, but given the fact that you guys, Ben and Diana, have still managed to go ahead with the wedding today, it just shows how strong you two are together. But I know that's not what's made me realise how made for each other you two are. It's the fact that you're able to understand Ben, Diana. I don't know how you do it, because even I struggle to know what you're saying most of the time, but I wouldn't even be surprised if you were the only American person that can fully understand him. It just shows how perfect you two are together. I don't want to waffle on for too much, because I know you've got other speeches and you just want to get partying. But I just wanted to do a weird pre-recorded toast to you two. I've got a bottle of Vimto, so I'm going to lift that up and say, here's to you two having the most magical life together. Cheers, everybody. Have fun and do some Jaeger bombs for me, please. I'll be watching. Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Jack.
Good afternoon, everybody.
This is
Stardust.
Josh.
Eve.
Oh no, this is Josh. This is my dad.
Well,
he's later.
Benny and Diana.
Hi everybody.
This is
I'm
Josh, best man
Ben's
too.
older, more handsome and more intelligent brother. More important today, one of Ben's best men. I know Jack's done the soppy stuff, so I thought I'd talk about Ben a little bit. I first heard the name Ben Brown after one of the earlier nights out in the first year of uni. There were only a few guys in my course, so there weren't many to narrow down. Which one's Ben Brown again? Oh yeah, he's that one that jumped off that phone box the other night and screwed up his ankle, right? Yeah, of course he is. Now, one way or another, we were out one night, Ben and I got talking, and we obviously hit it off. I can't remember how I ended up asking another guy over to my flat after a night out, but somehow that's what I did. And I invited Ben over to my place to keep the night young. You may or may not be surprised to learn that within a few minutes of listening to Stevie Ray Vaughan playing Lenny on my iPod Nano, we decided it was too hot and stripped down to our underwear. Sitting there in our boxers on the edge of my bed, sharing a mutual love of the mighty Boosh on the laptop, there was only one place this night was going. And it went there. Yes, we couldn't resist the urges any longer. We gave in. We headed back to Ben's flat, crept past his sleeping flatmates straight into the kitchen. He told me to get a spoon, and he got his jar of peanut butter out of the cupboard. We sat in our underpants, watched too many episodes of The Mighty Boosh, and polished off that jar of crunchy peanut butter. After all, what kind of last night doesn't involve eating a jar of crunchy peanut butter? From that night on, it was obviously true love. Time spent with Ben is always time well spent. Even the most mundane things become hilarious when you have a bit of time on your hands around Ben. Even the worst and most monotonous car journeys are a laugh, which I'm sure is something that Jack would agree with, having been able to tour the Western States with him, something I'll always be gutted about missing out on. I remember when Ben and I were on a school placement together, at a school over an hour away. I had a little red Nissan Micra, and so I did the driving. After a good 20 minutes of discussing the price of cabbage and the proportions and practicalities of the Amazonian woman, Ben slipped into a peaceful snooze for the rest of the journey. Now, Ben is a very difficult person to wake up. You can pat his cheeks, shake him, prod him, poke him, talk to him, but rarely does he come around. Sometimes you think you've woken him up because he'll be talking to you, but then you listen to what he's saying and he'll be mentioning something about putting the marshmallows in the microwave before rolling over into his cylindrical duvet tube. It's at that point that you realise he's talking in his sleep again. This time, in the car, however, I managed to wake him up. Just about. We were close to home, only about 5 minutes away. After an hour of driving, at least an hour, Ben had his head slumped forward, sleeping peacefully. It was raining and the road was slippery. My old 1994 Micra and its questionable tyres didn't care for gripping the road, and we crumpled straight into the back of a stationary car at the traffic lights. With an almighty crunch, our car came to an abrupt stop and the pair of us were thrown forward before being snapped back into our seats by the seatbelts. I looked over to Ben to look for some help, hoping he'd have something to say or he'd know what to do. And in the most casual and nonchalant way, with a quizzical and slightly confused look in his eyes, he lifted his head and looked over, blinked a few times, and with half a yawn he mumbled, "You right?" That's someone waking Ben up. He doesn't wake up, even in a car crash. So Diana, in case there's ever a problem in the night or you need to rush out of bed, maybe because you've slept through your alarms in the morning, you might have to give Ben a bit of a nudge to wake up. Now, nothing too drastic, just, I don't know, setting his hair on fire or something like that should do the trick. Now, despite not being any use to anyone when he's asleep, however, Ben's an actual lifesaver when he's awake. You may or may not know that he once talked down someone who was about to end their life. But that was just another day for Ben. Nothing's ever too much for him. If someone's got an idea, Ben's up for it. Be it licking as many car bonnets as he can in 1 minute, or searching for the Eiffel Tower in the dark side of Hong Kong. Ben will never let you down if there's fun to be had. Saying that, he'll never let you down if there's an accident to be had either. Whether that's slashing his hand on broken glass, damaging his ankle jumping off that phone box, or sitting in the hospital waiting room drunk in the early hours because he's given himself concussion after trying to swing on those overhead railings. The traditionalists out there say a man should look after his wife. Well, let's be honest, I think it's the other way around in this case. Please look after him, Diana. I'm sure you already know far more about Ben than I do. I'm chuffed that you still love him, even if he does point his feet outwards when he walks. I obviously never really met you properly, Diana, other than to watch your excellent makeup tutorial on Ben's virtual COVID stag do. But I look forward to when we can all meet properly. If this was a normal best man speech at a normal wedding, I would say, don't the bride and her bridesmaids look beautiful? But I can't see any of them, so I'll leave that out just in case. I would also handle a speech giver, but I have no idea who that is, so I'll leave that out too. What I can do though, is ask you to all raise your glasses, and I'm guessing you have glasses, otherwise I've really broken the immersion again, and join me as I make a toast to the groom and the bride, Diana and Ben. I'm absolutely gutted I'm not there, but I'll be certainly watching on the stream, swinging my legs down into Cider Valley, Ben. And one way or another, I know I'll see you both very soon, hopefully. Have an amazing night, guys. Make sure you both stop off at Whiskey Island for old time's sake. Just make sure someone else pays, because it'll taste much, much better that way. Now, just before I go, everybody, I've been told to tell you all to make space on your tables for the chocolate fondue. And in other news, drinks for the rest of the evening are free. Have an awesome night. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh.
Hello everybody, welcome to Mr. and Mrs. Ben and Diana Brown's wedding day. Woo! Hold for applause. Okay, there we are. I'm good, I can't be there with you all.
All right. Thank you very much, Josh and Jack. I think you are watching along at home. I can't see you on my phone, so it's a bit of the same situation. I'm not broke the immersion. I'm going to hand over now to KK, Diana's maid of honour.
Alright, so please excuse me while I'm on my phone, because it's written on my phone. So, first and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for being here today, in person and virtually. During these tough times, it's important that we all come together for moments like this. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm KK, I'm a maid of honor. I was gonna wear a dress today, but Diana didn't want me to outshine her, so y'all get me in a suit. So I had the pleasure of first meeting Diana back in 2016. And excuse my shakes, because I am a nervous speaker. And let me tell you, we had lovely jobs back then. No. Diana worked in retail. I worked in security. And I do not condone shoplifting whatsoever. But I am so thankful that someone was just dumb enough to shoplift one day back in March 2016, because that's when I met Diana. I spent pretty much every single day that I worked in and out of her store, making sure that nobody shoplifted from that store. I made an incredible friend during that time, and I learned so much about Diana. I learned that she cared so deeply about her family, and she held all of her friends so close to her heart. I can still remember the first day Diana started to casually mention Ben. She was trying to play it cool, but she had this light in her eyes that was nothing like I had ever seen before. I met Ben early on in their dating, and Diana's like a sister to me, so I was very protective of her. When I met Ben, it was truly a breath of fresh air, because I knew when Diana didn't have her girls with her, by her side to support her, that Ben would be there by her side to support her and cheer her on. I knew when I met Ben, I also gained a brother. But I also gained a drinking buddy, excuse me. I gained a drinking buddy that could keep up with me. Apparently, I cannot keep up with him tonight. Now, Ben, I want to thank you for being everything my best friend needed in a man. If I could paint a picture of who I imagined Diana to spend the rest of her life with, it would be you. Not only are you handsome,
Not wrong.
but you're kind and you're a gentle man, and you two balance each other out perfectly. Ben and Diana are each unique individually, but together as a couple, they can truly accomplish anything that they put their minds to. And let me tell you, don't ever challenge them to a board game competition because they will win. It is crazy how great they are at board games. But all jokes aside, I'd like to thank Ben and Diana both for allowing me to be here today, along with the rest of the bridal party and the groomsmen. We're all your friends for life. We're gonna be here for both of you throughout the entire time that y'all spend together. Long time together. And I speak for everyone here when I say we can't wait to see what the future holds for Mr. and Mrs. Brown. We love you guys to the moon and back, and we will always be here for you too. So, I'm gonna do a toast, so if you'll please raise your glasses to the bride and groom. Now, I read somewhere that love is just a friendship that has caught fire. May your fire stay strong and bright and filled with love and laughter for many, many, many years to come. To Mr. and Mrs. Brown.
Thank you, KK. Thank you very much, KK. So that brings us to our final speech, which is my dad. Again, he's calling in. He's a lot shorter than me. Yeah, we're a weird bunch in Cornwall. But yeah, my dad's just going to speak for the end, and then you guys can enjoy your meals guilt-free. And everyone who's watching virtual, I'll come and switch you off. Sorry. Hopefully my mum wasn't watching, like. Right. So yeah, here's my dad.
Good afternoon, everybody. Buenas tardes. Well, Benny and Diana, the big day is finally here. Hurrah! A day that is tinged with a little sadness for me, Mum, Jack, Hannah, and all your extended family in the UK, because we can't be there to share this day in person with you both. But it is also a day filled with immeasurable joy, love, and hope for your life together and the wonderful opportunities that you will have in the future. So, Ben is the middle son of our 3 children, and he has always regarded himself as the favourite child, the chosen one. Right about now, I'm sure that he's cringing and worrying what embarrassing stories I might tell about his childhood. However, that is really a job for his best man. And much as I would like to get him back for all the sleepless nights he caused us, I'm not going to do that, because this is truly a memorable occasion for Ben, Diana, and all our families, and one which we really want to feel part of as much as we can, in spite of the many thousands of miles between us. We feel so blessed that our UK side of the family has been extended to the USA, and although I haven't had the pleasure of meeting them yet, we particularly wanted to send our warmest greetings and very best wishes to Heidi, Ozio, and Ken. It's important to say that all of us hold a special place in our hearts for the US. We love the country. Many of the very happiest times of our lives have been spent here. I'm extremely proud to say that I've served alongside the US military, and hopefully, once COVID is done, we'll have an even better excuse for visiting Ben and Diana more often in the future. By now, you've probably guessed that this is the first wedding speech that I've ever done. I confess that I was a little worried about it at first, but once I thought about it, I realised that there are some definite advantages. Firstly, I now have a speech that I can keep and maybe warm over a little for when Ben's sister Hannah gets married. And secondly, of course, if there are any other dads out there who might be facing a similar situation in the future, I could make it available to you at a very reasonable rate. So it's a win-win for me. Anyway, you may not know that our family in the UK comes from a range of nationalities and cultures, including English, Scottish and Welsh. I mention that because today, because of Ben and Diana and all of you, We are in the fantastic position of being able to combine all of our various cultures, history, traditions and customs together. And by doing that, to embrace all the wonderful benefits that can bring to our lives. Whilst I'm on the subject of culture, I should tell you that unfortunately I don't speak Spanish, as you're about to discover. But I know that many of you do. And so I wanted to try and say something in the Spanish language as well. So here goes. Es un gran honor para mí tener la oportunidad de hablar con todos ustedes hoy en nombre de la familia de Ben. Por favor, acepten mis disculpas por mis terribles habilidades lingüísticas, pero estamos muy agradecidos de que nos hayan incluido en este día tan importante y deseo que podamos estar ahí para conocerlos a todos. Espero que esa oportunidad llegue pronto y hasta entonces mantente saludable y feliz. Gracias. Finally, what do parents say to their son and new daughter-in-law on their wedding day? I don't know, but here's my best shot. Benny, Mum and I are so proud of you. You were an easy child, and you've grown into a fine young man. We have always loved your humour, your kindness, confidence, and the desire to tackle anything, and just give it a try and see how it turns out. I'm sure those qualities are what led you to the USA, to meet Diana, and now to this day, where you can build a wonderful future with her. Diana, I know that you and I haven't met very often, but Shona has got to know you quite well, and she is an excellent judge of character. We can already see that you're a beautiful, intelligent, caring, and elegant young lady, and we are so happy and honoured to have you as part of our family. The only thing that remains is for me to send you love and sincere best wishes on behalf of myself, Mum, Jack, and Hannah. Enjoy the rest of your day, the very best of luck for the future, and we'll look forward to catching up with you both soon. Thank you for including us in your day, and good night.
Thank you very much, Dad. Thank you very much for kind of eating around the speeches. I know it's a bit complicated with trying to balance it with making sure that everyone can watch from home and everything. And thank you everyone virtual for staying up to stupid o'clock so you could listen to mainly me speaking Spanish badly for about 10 minutes and then like some English words too. Thank you again everyone for being here tonight, and all that's to say is it's time for us all to eat, drink and be merry and celebrate today, and thank you all for being part of such a fantastic day.